Appearances can be deceiving. Applies to some animals as well, especially when it comes to members of the cat family. Today's hero is famous for more than just not only for his digging skills. Behind his outward clumsiness and funny appearance hides an incredibly cunning, surprisingly resourceful, and absolutely fearless predator, who, in order to achieve his goals, even make friends with his worst enemy. Hello, friends, you're here on the top channel, and today we're going to be talking about the American badger. The American badger is physiologically similar to the badger, the common badger, even though they're from a different genus. The size of the American badger is somewhat more modest. Of the body does not exceed 75 centimeters, not counting the tail. The weight is from 6 to 10. The males are slightly larger than the females. And in the autumn, when food is plentiful, they can weigh up to 15 kilos. Up to 15 kilograms. Massive muscular body is covered with coarse long hair, which has a grayish tint. The muzzle has a mottled pattern from nose to the end of the back. There is a white stripe. The animals are native to North America. Their range extends across the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Badgers choose open boogie fields and pastures, less commonly wooded glades, scrub, and even empty fields. The main condition is the presence of loose soil, because here it's easier for them to do their main activity, digging. And in this activity they are aided by their powerful front paws and huge claws, which reaches 5 centimeters in length. Have different purposes, depending on their depth. Can be a resting place, a stash of supplies, or a home for their offspring. A standard burrow can be up to 3 length of more than 10 meters. In an emergency, a badger can, in a matter of seconds, to hide underground, leaving a handful of flying dirt in the animal's arsenal. Strange sounds from screeching to hissing or a muffled growl. The common American badger is nocturnal way of life, but instead of where it is not disturbed, he's often active, and during the day during the daytime it has less than good eyesight, which is more than compensated for by its excellent hearing and smell. Despite its outward clumsiness, the animal's main diet consists of nimble and cautious rodents. The predator's short-range speed are close to 30 kilometers per hour, which is often enough to chase and small mammals. But more often the predator will simply dig out prey from an underground shelter. By a young badger and its mother are a double threat to meadow dogs. The panicked rodents scurry about trying to hide as quickly as possible in the nearest badger burrow. I have enough to chase my prey. But the fowl family is renowned for its cunning. The mother knows that the burrows have and goes to one of them. And it works. In addition to rodents, the badger's victims are the birds that nest on the ground, as well as lizards, fish, insects, and even snakes. Sometimes the predator does not snack and plant foods. The American badger is famous for its cleanliness. It carefully hides its waste and it takes a long time to tidy itself up. Coyotes are the typical natural enemies of young animals. Why only young animals? You're about to find out. Hungry animals took a badger by surprise. The predators didn't wait for their prey to hide in a freshly dug hole, but their teeth, which can easily handle rodents, becomes a useless weapon against the incredibly thick pelt of a badger. In seconds, and the victim becomes an attacker. By hooking the teeth claws, the signature acrid odor, after which, as if nothing had happened, it returns to its business. The coyote is still counting on something, but the badger takes all hope away. It seems the predator is not used to giving up. It's not able to eat, but it's got the last word. He has the last word. But often the coyote, even his worst enemy, turns into a true ally. It's not easy to catch a rodent on its own. That's why the animal practices cooperative hunting. The coyote is much more efficient than a badger at chasing prey, but it becomes helpless if a gopher, groundhog, or a burrowing dog has escaped into a deep burrow. In such a situation, a badger takes over, who easily digs up someone else's hiding place. In some cases, the rodent manages to by surprise. This time, the luck is on the badger's side. On the badger's side, the coyote is left with nothing, but he patiently waits his turn. Frightened critters rush to the back door, exit where 2 hunters are waiting for them. That different styles of predator photos increase the vulnerability of prey. Many call it not just mutually beneficial. In a number of cases, observers have spoken about a truly friendly relationship. The combination of resourcefulness and stock sometimes leads to some rather unexpected. A badger can bury a whole cow. His plan he has been carrying out for 5 days, until the carcass was completely hidden from view. His efforts were not in vain, for several weeks he did nothing but ate and slept. In winter the animal does not go into hibernate and become less active. In the north, they can hide in a burrow for several days while it's freezing outside. The predator leads a solitary life. It doesn't defend its territory, but it protects its burrowing creature. Protected it thoroughly, though by its nature this animal tries to avoid unnecessary encounters, showing aggression only when cornered. Cornard. Up to 5 blind cubs are born in spring. Cubs are born in the spring, and in a month and a half they begin to leave their shelters, and then they switch completely to a meat-based meat diet. And at 6 months of age, they leave their mother and disperse in search of territory. Young and inexperienced animals can become prey to bobcats, a golden eagle, a coyote, a wolf, or a bear, but adult animals have few, if any, natural enemies. In fact, even large predators are too troublesome to deal with. The greatest harm to the population comes from the transformation of badger habitat farmland. The animal's habitat is being overgrown by an increasing number of highways that pose a deadly threat. It turns out that in spite of the widespread, the number of individuals is rapidly declining, and in the near future, these amazing animals could be on the brink of extinction.